Hey up YouTubers, as you'll see from the title, I'm going to talk about my first month on YouTube and what have I learnt. So most YouTubers that sort of make these types of videos will be sat in front of a computer screen and show you a few stats and that kind of thing. That's not me, so I thought I'd just go for a walk and have a chat about what I think. So I suppose the first thing that I'd probably go with is just be consistent. Just upload on a fairly consistent basis and just let the videos breathe. Once you've uploaded, just let your video just have time for people to see it. Now I know on the shorts you do get a lot more views than the longer form videos, so I've sort of tried to cut some of the longer videos down into shorts to publicise the longer one. I mean, has it had much success? A little bit, but I am only in my first month, and I'm not here to say this works and that works and this doesn't work, because I've no idea, to be honest. I'm just sort of giving my opinion on what I would do. Another thing that I've sort of noticed quite a lot, and I've been guilty of this, to be fair, is sort of going round speaking to people and posting, if you want to subscribe to my channel, and sort of begging almost that that people subscribe. But I don't think that's necessarily the best move to make. You want people to watch because they're happy with what you're putting out there and they enjoy it, not just because you wanting to get your numbers up on YouTube. So that's kind of just my thoughts on that. But yeah, and another thing as well that I would probably say is quite a big one is there's a lot of videos out there of YouTubers that's already got a decent platform that are essentially giving tips on, if you do this, this is going to happen, and you're gonna get monetized, you're gonna get thousands of views, loads of subscribers, and they've already got to the stage where their account's monetized. So if what they say doesn't work, they can just essentially just write that off and say, well, it didn't work for you, it's worked for others, and it's no guarantee. So be careful with taking advice off people, because it might not always be the best thing for you. So I'd just do what feels natural to you. Yeah, it's frustrating in the start, and you want your channel to take off, you want things to go well, and you want people to watch, and you want subscribers, you want to be monetized. But Rome wasn't built in a day. So your YouTube channel may just take the time, unfortunately, to get it right. My channel's nowhere near either. I've just started out and I'm learning every single day, but I wanted to make a video today because I think it's important to sort of set your own expectations that you're not going to be a superstar in the first month or anything like that. But yeah, so that's another one I wanted to raise, because I've watched quite a lot of YouTubers now, and there's definitely a lot of information out there saying do this, do that, and you'll make it. But that's not how life works, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to do what works for you, keep testing things out yourself, just hope one day that you take off and you're happy. What I've tried to do as well is every video that I put out, whether it be a short or a main video on my channel, is just to essentially try and improve something. I'm not the best at editing, I'm not the best at thumbnails, I'm not the best at writing titles, so I've just tried to improve it where I can on each video. Am I good at filming? A lot of people probably say no. I don't think I'm too bad, but I'm just a normal guy like yourselves with a camera, essentially walking around. My setup is one phone and me. I don't have any anything fancy. I edit it all on this phone as well, so you know, nice bird there. But yeah, you know, there's, you know, it's just me, you know, and I just go home, piece it all together and release the video, and that's, you know, that's it. So, you know, just a little bit of advice there is, you know, just be yourself, and you know, just do what you think's right. And you know, I understand people want a copy of us that are already successful, but you know, it's not gonna, you know, it's not guaranteed to work for you. And also, you know, it may bring subscribers in that'll never watch your videos because, you know, they're not really interested, but they've, you know, you've copied off someone and that worked for them, but when it comes to it, nobody will end up watching your videos. So, you know, it's a tricky one, but I would just say be yourself, post what you want, which is exactly what I do. You know, I don't even watch videos on topics that I put out there. I just do it because, you know, I know, you know, it's a video diary for myself as well. You know, I've got a couple of sheep videos on the channel. One was a sheep, you know, a farming event, and you know, one was a day as a sheep farmer. You know, I can look back at that in, you know, 3-5 years and go, oh, I remember that day when I helped them out on the farm. You know, and you know, I'm going back to Ireland in a few weeks, so you know, maybe a couple of months. So, you know, and I might do another video. You know, I said on that sheep farming video, I might do another if people watch. But actually, I might just do another just to see my improvements. You know, on, you know, my editing, my, you know, how I handle, you know, the sheep and that kind of thing. So, you know, and just to see the improvements that I've made in that time scale. So, you know, it's just about, I think overall it's just about doing what's right for you, not getting stressed out, being happy, because at the end of the day, we all want to be happy in life, you know, and you know, just don't follow what everyone's doing if it doesn't make you happy, because at the end of the day, you won't get out what you want to get out of it. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, people may just not watch your videos, and you know, we don't want people getting stressed out over this. It's a bit of fun, you know, and if we can turn it into something, then, you know, you think about that in the future. But yeah, just kind of month in, I just wanted to walk and talk and kind of just, you know, I've been a bit frustrated last few days, thinking, you know, watching all these videos and thinking, well, that never worked for me. But you know, there's 100,000 people's viewed that video, and loads of likes and loads of comments. Most of the comments are all saying, it didn't work for me, but thanks for making the video. So actually, is it working for anyone, or is it just, you know, is it just somebody, you know, wanting to get a video out, and you know, it may work for them, but you know, like, I think I saw a video that only 10% of creators actually get monetized on YouTube. You know, so that is quite a small number. So it shows that there's got to be a lot of dedication, hard work put into it. And you know, I'd say go with your gut, to be honest. Oh, look at these mushrooms here. God, I've not seen that. So big. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I think it's been around sort of 10 minutes now, so yeah, I just want to sort of briefly give my thoughts on it, see how it's gone. And I think on my channel, I don't think I've done that badly in the first month. You know, I think a couple of my shorts took off on the first 2 videos, which gave me the false expectation that, you know, I was gonna smash it every video, but that's not been the case. The longer videos are struggling a little bit, but you know, I'm enjoying it and putting out what I think's the right thing to put out, and for me, and you know, I'm trying to make a video that that I'm happy with, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So thanks for sort of tuning in. Hopefully I've give a couple of good tips there, and I think the main thing is, don't worry about what others think, don't worry about, you know, copying others. Just be yourself, be happy in life, because if we only get one shot of this, we might as well be happy, aren't we? You know, and just live your days and, you know, smile, because we all need to smile more. But yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. I hope it's benefited. I mean, you know, I hope what I think about is, does my video help one person? You know, whether it be walking around a town, flying from an airport on my own, if it just gives that one person the push to do something, or to visit somewhere because they've seen something on my videos, or to try something new, that's all that matters to me. And you know, so I think that's what I think really. Am I happy with the video? Yes. And can I potentially help anyone who's going through anything that they're going through to improve? But if, you know, if that happens, then I think that's brilliant. So yeah, I've rambled on a bit more there, but such is life, eh? So thanks very much for tuning in, everyone, and I'll catch you in my next video. And if you can, please check out my others. Thank you, take care, bye bye.